Are you ready for some jaw-dropping news from the world of Formula One? Surprisingly, Albon is set to step into Hamilton's shoes at Mercedes. That's right, after sources asked the fans to pick their favorite candidate for the vacant seat, the Williams driver emerged as the top choice. It's a decision that's got the racing world buzzing with excitement and speculation. So let's dive into this video today to know all the details and what this means for the future of F1. You won't want to miss it. Here we begin. It's been a while since Toto Wolff faced a big decision about who drives for Mercedes. The last time was in 2016 when Nico Rosberg retired right after winning the championship. Since then, Wolff had too many good drivers wanting to race for Mercedes. Valtteri Bottas filled in for a while, but George Russell's impressive drives for Williams made Wolff change things in 2022. Just a few months ago, Lewis Hamilton signed a new contract, making it seem like Mercedes had their driver situation sorted until 2025. But things changed yesterday. Now Wolff has to figure out what to do next. So, what's the big news? Well, it looks like Hamilton might not be sticking around as expected. Wolff has to find someone to take his place. It's a big deal because Mercedes needs a strong driver to keep them winning races and championships. So, who will it be? That's the question Wolff needs to answer in the coming weeks and months. It's a tough spot for Wolff. He thought everything was settled, but now he's back to square one. Alex Albon. Alex Albon will likely fill the spot Lewis Hamilton left at Mercedes in 2025. Hamilton, a 7-time world champion, is moving to Ferrari after this season, ending his long relationship with Mercedes that began in 2013. In response to this surprising news, RacingNews365.com asked fans to choose who they think should partner George Russell at Mercedes. The overwhelming favorite among fans was Williams driver Alex Albon. Since returning to the grid 2 years ago, Albon has impressed, earning him a key player status in the driver transfer market. Rumor has it that Red Bull could also be interested in signing him. In the poll, Albon received nearly 30% of the votes. Alonso leads the rest in voting. In the poll, Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso came in second with 24.128% of the votes. Alonso, who has a history of making surprising switches in pursuit of more victories, was ahead of fellow Spaniard Carlos Sainz, who is giving up his spot alongside Charles Leclerc to make room for Hamilton at Ferrari. Sainz received 19.02% of the votes, and he's expected to join the soon-to-be Audi team at Sauber. Young driver Andrea Kimi Antonelli would need an exceptional debut season in F2 to move directly to Mercedes, but his promising talent earned him 8.76% of the votes. Esteban Ocon received only a 3.59% share. Interestingly, 14.54% of voters chose someone else, with Oscar Piastri and Pierre Gasly mentioned as potential replacements. However, Piastri may face contract issues with McLaren after extending his contract last September. George's time to shine. George Russell must be feeling incredibly fortunate today. Since joining Mercedes in 2022, he's shown promise despite the challenges with the W13 car. However, 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton has always overshadowed him. Last year, Russell seemed to be relegated to the role of a number 2 driver, patiently waiting for his turn. But now, with Hamilton leaving for Ferrari in 2024, Russell's opportunity has arrived sooner than expected. While Hamilton remains with the team for now, the power dynamics are already shifting. Mercedes will focus on Russell, their new leading man, while Hamilton gradually steps back. This is Russell's chance to prove himself as one of Formula One's top drivers. Despite being hailed as a rising star for years, he has only one race win in 104 starts. The question now is whether he can seize this moment and live up to the expectations. A key factor will be who he partners with once Hamilton departs for Maranello. Can Alpine hold on to Ocon? Esteban Ocon has strong ties to Mercedes, which helped kickstart his F1 career. Despite racing for Renault's Alpine team since 2021, he remains under a long-term management contract with Mercedes. Ocon's journey mirrors Russell's, starting with a smaller team, Manor, before moving up and securing his first Grand Prix victory in Hungary with Renault. In 2023, Ocon outperformed Albon, scoring double the points, but he was part of a stronger team. However, his final standing of P12, just 4 points behind teammate Pierre Gasly, may not be convincing enough for a Mercedes seat. Additionally, Ocon's history of conflicts with other drivers could be a concern for Wolff. A chance for Mick Schumacher. When a team has an empty spot, they usually look at their reserve drivers for a replacement. For Mercedes, one big name in that list is Mick Schumacher. He got a chance with Wolff after leaving Haas in 2022. Haas dropped Schumacher because he made too many mistakes, costing them a lot of money. Some thought it was unfair since the car he drove was really bad, and it seemed like he was blamed for their problems. Schumacher may have struggled because he didn't get enough help and support at Haas. Maybe because of Mercedes' connection to Mick's dad, Michael, Wolff has welcomed him in. But it's uncertain if Mercedes will trust Schumacher to lead the team. Having a German driver in a German team, especially after a British driver dominated for so long, would make a good story. But it might not be Wolff's best or safest choice right now. Sainz left out in the cold. Thursday's news hit Carlos Sainz the hardest. When Ferrari brought him on board as Charles Leclerc's teammate in 2021, many saw him as a temporary solution, but their partnership turned out to be quite successful. Everyone expected Ferrari to keep him, but things took a different turn at the last minute. Sainz has been performing just as well as Leclerc during their time together. He finished last year's season only 6 points behind Leclerc and was the only non-Red Bull driver to win a race. This makes him a strong contender for any team looking for a skilled driver. However, Sainz doesn't have any connections with Mercedes, having started his career with Toro Rosso and then moving to Renault and McLaren before joining Ferrari. Mercedes might hesitate to directly replace one driver with another from a rival team like Ferrari, as it could send the wrong message. Calling Sainz a sloppy seconds would be unfair, but even the suggestion of it could hurt his chances of joining Mercedes. It's unclear where he might end up next, considering his 2 race wins. It wouldn't be surprising if Audi is already considering signing him for their 2026 team. A chance to introduce fresh new talent. In recent years, the racing scene has felt a bit stuck, like a traffic jam. Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes could shake things up, allowing new, talented drivers to shine. Mercedes supports Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who won the Formula Regional European Championship in Formula 2 this year. They're skipping Formula 3 altogether. Antonelli, just 17 years old, has been part of Mercedes' F1 Academy since 2019. If he wins the title in Formula 2, he could be in the running for F1 in 2025. But it's a bit risky, and Wolff, the boss at Mercedes, usually takes a cautious approach. Another up-and-coming driver to watch is Frederik Vesti from Denmark. He came in second in last year's Formula 2 championship. After the 2023 season ended, Vesti had the opportunity to test drive an F1 car in Abu Dhabi. There were rumors that he might replace Logan Sargent at Williams, but that talk died down. Instead, he'll compete in the European Le Mans Series with Cool Racing this year. Sticking with what you know, if Antonelli and Vesti aren't quite ready yet, Mercedes could consider more seasoned drivers like Daniel Ricciardo or Nico Hülkenberg. Ricciardo might be looking for a new team if he can't replace Sergio Perez at Red Bull. Hülkenberg is another option with plenty of experience. There's also the possibility of Valtteri Bottas returning to Mercedes if things don't work out for him at Audi due to Sainz's situation. Bottas had been with Mercedes for a while before moving to Audi, so it's a possibility Wolff might consider. We would have been discussing Lando Norris more if he hadn't just signed a new contract with McLaren last week. He might regret the timing considering the opportunity he missed with Mercedes. Norris has the right profile for Mercedes and is friends with Russell, but having 2 British drivers might have been a concern. But Norris is out of the picture now, right? That's what we thought when Hamilton extended his contract with Mercedes in September. Norris didn't reveal the length of his new deal with McLaren, so we wonder if there's any flexibility like the one Hamilton had to leave Mercedes unexpectedly. It's unlikely, but as Murray Walker used to say, anything can happen in F1, and it usually does. So, what do you think of the new team members in Mercedes? Comment below and subscribe for more.